Good morning, Azie.
Hi, good morning.
I mean, this is remarkable. You're the first actor to write an episode for the CW. How does that even feel?
Surreal. I feel honored that I get to be the first. I hope that this is the first of many, especially female storytellers. I hope that this is just the beginning.
Yeah, tell us how this all started. How did you go from actor to then writing this and putting it together?
I mean, I had a really productive pandemic. I did, I ate a lot and cried and
Oh,
was, freaked out every day. I did all the same activities that a lot of people did. But then during that, I started writing a lot. I worked with a writing coach and I just fell in love with it. And I wrote a sample episode of Supergirl and sent it to our showrunners and they loved it. And then was able to join the writer's room. I took a couple episodes off and was in the writer's room for a month
okay.
every day and helped break this arc. And then knew I was going to write an episode, but then found out that I was going to get to co-write an episode that I'd become a superhero in, which is still something that hasn't sunk in yet.
You're in it and you wrote
and then I
it.
got to go and perform it, and now everyone will get to see it tomorrow.
I love that. I mean, the fact that it's airing, it's going to be tomorrow right here on the CW. And this episode tackles racial injustice. So I want to talk about that. Why was that so important for you to, create an episode like this? Just give us a little preview if you could.
I think to have a Black female civilian stepping into being a superhero in this climate and not address it felt impossible to do. Having the character step into her power, and then me kind of in this last year processing a lot of emotions and trauma and everything collectively as a society that we were going through, to try to use that and put it into this form of art and create something positive felt right. And it was really cathartic and hopefully inspiring in the way that we did it, I hope.
I'm sure it will be. And you know what? I'm just reading about your background and I'm inspired. You came from Ethiopia, got into all these Ivy League schools. I mean, quite a remarkable background. Shows that you are beauty and brains and many, many talents. Tell us about how much of an influence that has had, where you grew up and where you went to high school.
Yeah, it's everything for me. I'm very much a first generation kid. My parents still don't totally understand what I do for a living. It was like doctor, lawyer, engineer. So going to good schools, and that was like a baseline.
Yeah.
But having the fortune of being able to be a creative and be an actor and a writer, I want to be an example so that other people that are Eritrean or Ethiopian or East African know that they can pursue this, because I didn't have anyone that had set the example for me that I had it as a template. My mom was a big believer in you can do anything and had told me that since I was like
Awesome.
5 years old. You can do anything you put your mind to. And so I was lucky enough to have that belief system. But being able to see someone that looks like you, that is pursuing something that you maybe want to, I think is and showing you that it's possible, I think is super important. So my culture is so much of who I am. I have little references in the episode. My character walks out of an Ethiopian restaurant. In the first scene, my mom's name is on the restaurant.
Oh.
The beads that my superhero character has in her braids are little gold Ethiopian beads. So I have little nods to my culture in my superhero costume and then in the episode as well.
I love that. And unfortunately for so many kids, they don't have moms who say you can do anything, but you're such a good example that it can be done. And I think you're spreading that message in all that you're doing, which is amazing. Also, you do a lot of outreach too. I do want to get into that if you don't mind. I know we're getting off topic here, but if you could tell us a little bit more about that.
I was the first member of my family born in the United States, and a lot of good fortune came with that. And so I've always been really passionate about dealing with empowering women and children, specifically girls, through vocational training and education. And so years ago, I'd started an accessory line called Fortune Culture and gave all the proceeds away to various causes over the world that supported women and young girls. And now I do a lot of work with different organizations, mainly in Ethiopia, bringing awareness to educating young girls and things like menstrual cycles, and educating women that girls don't have to be pulled out of school for weeks at a time, which makes them fall behind, and making sure that girls are supported. And I'm just really passionate about that, because I think that if you have the means to support yourself, especially heads of households that are women, a lot of really bad things are avoided. And if you give girls an opportunity to have success or have a career, the world's a better place.
Yeah, Azie, thank you so much for all that you do. Supergirl airs tomorrow right here on the CW. So good to see you this morning.
Thank you.